Good morning, everybody. I'm Danielle Knox, and welcome to The Balancing Act. The president of the Visual Arts Network is here this morning to inspire your creative side. And if you're expecting or you just had a child, you'll want to hear about this book. And an LCD TV that can be permanently housed outdoors so that you can watch the big game by your pool. All that and more great stuff today on The Balancing Act.
Are you a woman who was inspired by something small and simple and then achieved success by following that dream and making it happen? Or maybe you're still looking for that inspiration. Well, our next guest will motivate you because that's exactly what she did. Lynn Pittard was introduced to painting at the age of 36 as a wife and mother of 3 young children by watching a half-hour painting show on PBS. Well, it changed her life forever. She's now fulfilled her dream of launching the only TV network that is devoted exclusively to the visual arts. Welcome, Lynn.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Your life changed by watching a TV show about how to paint?
Yes, it just, I wasn't interested in art, but that show made it look like it would be fun, and I decided I wanted to give it a try.
Had you been artistic before that?
No, ma'am.
Interesting. And so what did you do?
Well, after I learned to watch the show, I taught myself to paint from watching more of that show, and being excited about learning to paint, feeling like that I had no ability to paint, I couldn't wait to share it with others. And through wanting to share, I became a teacher. And it led to a 25-year career of teaching others to paint through workshops and seminars all around the country. In 30 states I traveled.
Wow.
I had my own TV show for 25 years on PBS, teaching people to paint and oil painting. And I wrote 8 books.
Oh my God.
I've been licensed and published.
Who says women over 40 can't accomplish new things and change their life?
TV show. Yeah, who would figure?
Okay, so now you're a grandmother. I happen to know that you're taking care of your ailing mother, and you've got lots of grandkids around, and so then you just took some time out to launch your own television network?
Well, there's a need, and where there's a will, there's a way, and the visual arts have not been focused on. There's a lot of specialty networks, but they're just none devoted to the arts. And being passionate about the arts, having a half-hour TV show changed my life. I thought that we should have a visual arts network that it could reach other women and reach the elderly, children, adults, and show them their own creative power and give them an opportunity to release within them.
So what kind of shows can we see on Visual Arts Network?
Well, we have a lineup of children's shows in the morning, creative shows to teach them how to do all art forms. We have a lineup of craft shows where we can do beads, baubles, scrapbooking, you name it, anything artistic and visual. We have talk shows. We have feature shows on unique arts like ice sculpting and sandcastles around the world. They do the sandcastle things that are as big as buildings, and any standard art form. And
so partly how-to and partly art appreciation.
Well, we have movies. We're going to have movies on the arts, life stories, and we're going to have drama and sitcoms and game shows, and there's just no limit to our creativity, and that's where we all have creativity.
And the focus is all visual arts.
All visual, reaching within yourselves to express yourself. And I believe the women of today get sidetracked in their responsibilities of being a mother and their work, and they don't have time to tap within themselves the creative desires. And I'm hoping the Visual Arts Network will do what it did for me. One half-hour show changed my life and allowed me to express myself and give a part of myself to others through painting.
Do you think everyone can be creative?
Oh, I think we all have a creative gift within us. I think God gave us all this gift of creativity, but we just don't have the time to tap into it. We get distracted by the world and by living life.
Tell me about it.
So yes, I believe if there's a desire and there's an opportunity, and I'm hoping the visual arts will give an opportunity for people to find their passion, find their interest, and then share it with others and fulfill themselves in a very special way.
And where can people find the Visual Arts Network?
Well, we're on IPTV, which is through webcasting, the internet protocol on our website, www. visualartsnetwork.tv.
Visualartsnetwork.tv.
And also we're being aired on Sky Angel satellite system to their subscribers, and currently we're being aired through them, and we're negotiating with Dish and all the other major carriers to put their network out there for everybody to enjoy.
Thank you so much. You are truly an inspiration. Thank you for joining us today.
Up next, an informative discussion with MD and book author Lynn Pittard about post-pregnancy women's issues. Stay with us.
Many of you have heard the news story of Andrea Yates, the mother who drowned her 5 children while suffering from postpartum psychosis. Now, initially, she was convicted as a murderer, but 5 years later, she was retried and convicted as criminally insane.
That's right, and one of the defense experts in this case is our next guest today, Lynn Pittard, a medical doctor and author of this book, Understanding Your Moods When You're Expecting. And she's here with us today to tell us all about women's mental health in relation to their reproductive state. We appreciate you being here with us, Dr. Puryear, today.
Thank you for having me. Hi. Well, first of all, let's do a little background. Okay. What made you focus on this particular area of psychiatry?
Well, it's interesting because there didn't used to be this area of psychiatry. It's only been recently in the last 10 years where psychiatrists have really been interested in women's mental health. I thought I was going to be, it's hard to believe.
Funny, we've been crazy for generations.
I thought I was going to be an OBGYN, and you know, I had this fantasy that I'd get to sit by women's bedsides and deliver babies. And once I got into medical school, I saw that the obstetricians really didn't get to do the kind of care I wanted to give women. They were so busy and sleep deprived and doing surgery. At the very last minute, I did psychiatry, and it was like reading a novel every day or going to the movies, and people's stories were fascinating, and I just felt that that was a place I could be most helpful. Fortunately, there was a little luck involved. I was asked to teach the OBGYN residents about women's mental health, and it clicked that I could do both. I could take care of women and be a psychiatrist. And
you know, one of the things I often think about is you know, as women, do you find that we are more predisposed to maybe having psychiatric issues than men?
Well, not psychiatric issues in general, because both
depression
men...
for sure,
Depression
though, right?
for sure. 1 in 4 women at some point in her lifetime is going to have a depressive episode. That's a huge number.
Sure is.
And that means...
Is there something about our hormones that makes us more susceptible to that?
The thought is, when you're pregnant, estrogen and progesterone levels are higher than they'll ever be at any time in your life. About 3 days after delivery, they go down like driving off a cliff. And it's thought that that sudden drop in hormones is what triggers postpartum depression in a certain group of women.
Okay, what are the symptoms?
The symptoms of postpartum depression are difficulty with appetite, difficulty concentrating, tearfulness. I think what's most important for a family to know, however, when they're wondering if their loved one is suffering from postpartum depression, if the woman is complaining of mood symptoms, being tearful, depressed, 2 weeks after the baby's born, it's no longer something called baby blues. You need to check and see if it's postpartum depression. The other thing that you need to be aware of, women with postpartum depression can't sleep, and you're anxious, and even if the baby's sleeping, you're laying down worrying about the baby, ruminating.
You've been there?
I've been there, done that. Yeah. But I think what happens is people tend to confuse postpartum depression with baby blues.
Right.
What is the difference between the two?
The biggest difference, one is that baby blues should stop at 2 weeks after the baby's born.
And baby blues is just feeling just a little down.
Like PMS,
just,
right?
Like PMS.
Like pretty strong PMS.
Tearful, some irritability, crying at the drop of a hat just because the neighbor brings a casserole for no good reason.
Right.
But the mother's still able to enjoy her baby. She's still glad she had the baby. She enjoys holding it. She enjoys feeding it. Mothers with postpartum depression will talk to you about feeling no emotion for that new baby. They wonder, what have I done? And they'll often say to me, I just want to get in my car and drive away. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have had children. I'm going to be a terrible mother. So it's this feeling of detachment from the baby that is characteristic of postpartum
That's
depression.
interesting. And my symptomology included fear of being separated from the baby, that something bad would happen if I ever went out the door or went to work.
And you may have had a postpartum anxiety, which is also very common postpartum. Mixed in there.
Okay, let's talk about the most common treatments used now.
Well, I want to say first that psychotherapy is always important. And in my psychiatric practice, I either do the therapy or refer out. But if you're having a
It's nice to hear a prescriber say that talk therapy still works.
It still works. It's very, very important. Imagine, you know, when you have a baby, everything in your life is turned upside down. You're suddenly a mother, your relationship with your partner is different, your relationship with work is different. You need to talk about all those changes in your life. But with severe depression, antidepressant therapy is imperative and works very well.
How does the baby suffer from the mom's illness?
There's lots of studies looking at the effects of maternal depression on newborns, and I can give you a good example from my own practice. I had a mom who came in with her baby, which is always fun for me, but she came in with her baby. She knew she had postpartum depression. She sat down and put the baby near my chair, and she couldn't even reach the baby. So when the baby was fussing, I was playing with it, or I asked her for a bottle. Babies don't get emotionally stimulated when their mothers have depression. They may be clean and well cared for, but there's disrupted attachment. The problem with that long term is that those children are more likely to have psychiatric illness, lower IQs, behavioral problems in school, and attachment difficulties. So not just for the mom, but for the whole family, the newborn and her other children, it needs to be treated.
Yeah, and the psychopharmaceuticals that are out there are so symptom specific that they're not like the crazy dizzying drugs from the 50s or 60s. We should tell people that this is a very mild form that helps just the depression.
These are, exactly, and they have very few side effects. They're commonly the SSRIs, serotonin reuptake inhibitors, and women can breastfeed on these medications. Most pediatricians...
I did, and my kids got a really high IQ. We're good.
So some women may not want to get treatment thinking that they're not going to be able to breastfeed, but you can breastfeed on these medications.
Great.
And I know we've got to wrap up. We only have just a couple of seconds left here, but do you find that women may be a little afraid to come forward to and talk about this issue that's affecting them?
I think two things. One, women feel enormous guilt that they're depressed because everybody else is ecstatic and happy, and they're thinking, I'm not feeling so happy. So they want to keep that to themselves. They feel terribly guilty. And then there's just the stigma of talking about depression or any other psychiatric illness. The Andrea Yates tragedy, you know, her life will never be the same, nor her children's. But that has probably changed the face of women's mental health more than anything. I now go all over the country and speak. The media pays attention. There are support groups forming. So the treatment for women is improving, and women are speaking out.
Dr. Puryear, thank you so much for being with us today. The book, again, is Understanding Your Moods When You're Expecting, a must-buy for any pregnant friend you have, okay? Don't forget. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me. Up next, have you been looking for the perfect permanent TV by your pool for your patio? Well, we have it right here. Stay tuned. They are high definition, all weather resistant, and you can use them to gather your friends and family in your backyard for Sunday games. All right, what am I talking about here? I'm talking about all weather outdoor televisions. Now, one company combining indoor entertainment with outdoor fun is SunBrite TV. Their 4610 LCD high-definition models are built to last through rain, snow, dust, and even the most extreme temperature changes. Now you can light up those barbecues and enjoy some wholesome family entertainment outdoors. Hey, and couples, yes, even those of you who've been married over 10 years, I'm almost there. How about a romantic movie night out by the pool? A nice glass of wine, a few candles, well, you get the picture. Okay, so let's get technical here. SunBrite TV screens are water resistant, they're scratch resistant, and they're anti-reflective. They also have some pretty neat built-in cooling fans and heaters that help your TV stay at the right temperature through summer and winter. Now that's high tech. And if you're looking for the ultimate hookup, these outdoor entertainment units include a watertight cable entry system and a pass-through design which ensures quick and easy connections to a wide selection of video inputs. Because we are all constantly trying to find ways in which we can better balance out all of our family time and entertainment, an outdoor TV set like this can help bring families out of the living rooms and into the great outdoors for a breath of fresh air. So splash away and entertain your family and your friends in the comfort of your backyard. Well, I now know what's on my wish list for my anniversary that's coming up. So, honey, if you're listening, you need to go to this website. For more information on SunBrite TV, you can visit their website at sunbritetv.com. All right, we'll be right back with some healthy and delicious pasta recipes, so don't go away.
Hello, I'm Justin Bell with MotorGuru.com here on The Balancing Act. Now, some words just enter our common vernacular, such as RAM and megabyte, and we don't really know what they mean, as is the hybrid when you're coming to buy a new car. So what does it actually mean? Well, broken down, it means any vehicle that has more than 2 modes of propulsion to it, a gas engine and an electric engine. Now, there are many types of hybrid. There's mild hybrid, when it actually starts off with battery mode and then converts to gas power at about 20 or 30 miles an hour. There's other types that start with a gas engine and then switch off the gas engine, especially under braking, to regenerate power. My advice to you is definitely go online and check it out specific to the car that you're going to buy. But hybrids are a necessary part of our evolution in our driving styles. But that's really the key. Our lifestyles have to change a little bit in order to make a hybrid more efficient. If you do just as many miles, you might be saving a bit of a gas, but you're definitely impacting the environment. So hybrid is the way to go, even if you're getting a bigger car. Check us out at www.thebalancingact.com. Thanks.
Is there anything more challenging than getting your family, especially the kids, to eat healthy? Well, today we're going to show you how to turn something they already love, pasta, into smart eating. And to help us is Lucille Bessler, president of the Florida Dietetic Association. Welcome, Lucille.
Thank you.
So, pasta, we all love it, but in abundance, we've heard it's not so good for us. What's different about this pasta you're bringing us today?
Well, this pasta has 3 times more fiber than regular white pasta. It also has the equivalent of calcium as found in an 8-ounce glass of milk per serving.
Calcium and fiber in pasta, and it's called Ronzoni
Smart Taste.
Smart Taste. Okay, so
The
that
name
makes
says
sense.
it all.
I have to say one other thing about this. Most pastas with a lot of fiber are whole wheat, and they're brown and heavy, and kids hate them. This is white and light.
That's true. And kids need fiber as well as adults. They need fiber because it will help them feel full longer. And we know what a problem childhood obesity is. So if we can get kids to eat something healthy and not enormous portions, that really helps us an awful lot. And the calcium, as we know, is really needed for their bones.
Yeah, you were saying earlier that you have a feeling that lack of calcium is going to be the big nutrition problem in our youth today.
That's correct. We know, studies have shown us that children are not eating the amount, not getting the amount of calcium they need. They're not eating calcium-rich products.
So they need to eat broccoli and skim milk.
Broccoli and skim milk, dairy products, and Ronzoni Smart Taste
Ronzoni
pasta.
Smart Taste. Now, what have you suggested we've made today? These look like 3 great family meals. What have we got here?
Oh, well, these are typical comfort foods. Here we have tuna casserole. The great part about this tuna casserole is that it uses tuna packed in water, not oil, and it uses peas for great texture and to add a little vegetable to it.
So I want to lift this up to show the moms out there how easy this is. Look at the layers. We have a bottom of macaroni and cheese. Of course, it's the healthy Smart Taste pasta in there. A layer of peas, a layer of tuna in water.
That's
another
right.
macaroni and cheese, some breadcrumbs, and probably a little Parmesan mixed in there on top.
That's right.
Bake it in the oven for what, half an hour?
Half hour. It's a quick meal, and it's very nutritious and
food
very
group.
eye appealing.
Right there. Okay, so what have we got here? This looks delicious
Here
too.
we have the honey garlic pasta toss. And this is a great meal. It only took 30 minutes to make.
And the
again,
protein
this
here
is
is
healthy.
Chicken in there? Honey garlic chicken? Yeah, honey garlic chicken with little scallions and pasta. Anything with honey kids are going to eat. Of
That's
course
right,
they are.
that's right.
And here, this is something I'd love to eat because it's got lots of green leaves in it, but...
Well, this is great. It has roasted cherry tomatoes and it has spinach. So this might be a really great way to get your children to eat spinach because of the pasta. But it's great for adults too. And again, the Smart Taste pasta makes it even more better.
So where can people find Ronzoni Smart Taste pasta?
They can find it in their local supermarkets right next to the other fine Ronzoni products.
And they can also go to ronzonismarttaste.com, of course.
Yes, they can.
ronzonismarttaste.com to find out where it's sold or to buy it there on the site.
Yes, and on that site, not only it has nice recipes, but it also has great ideas for healthy eating tips for meals and for snacks for the entire family.
I'm going there for dinner tonight. Okay, thanks, Lucille. Lucille Besler, president of the Florida Dietetic Association. All good advice. And now I know what's for dinner at our house tonight. Of course, that tuna casserole. Thanks so much for being with us. These ideas are really delicious, and we appreciate all the nutrition advice that we can get.
Here's how to manage your dog's destructive chewing behavior. First of all, keep books, trash, remote controls, clothing, eyeglasses, and other chewable items out of your dog's reach. Secondly, don't confuse your dog by giving the dog an old shoe to chew on and then expect them to distinguish between his chewable shoe and your non-chewable shoe. Third, until your dog learns the house rules, confine them to one dog-proof room with safe toys when you can be around them to keep an eye on them. Stay tuned to The Balancing Act for more pet tips.
I'm Danielle Knox, and thank you so much for joining us today on The Balancing Act. Check out the stories that we featured today and more on our website, thebalancingact.com. We hope that you join us for more exciting stories every weekday morning right here on Lifetime Television. Make it a good one, everybody. Take care.
Air travel for The Balancing Act provided by Southwest Airlines.